As the name suggests, and you have seen in the previous video, we are creating the widgets based on their functionalities. So we named top bar this one, and this is called app bar. So now the time is come to create right image product item widget, a left image product item widget, and two product item widget, which will have a vertical item product widget. Okay, and then will be a red button. Also we will be using one more widget called as blue button. So let's close the top bar, let's close the product pubspec.yml, and let's work on the product listing page. So we are already in a column, so whatever we place below top bar will come here after top bar, right? So let's use right image product item widget. Okay, and then go to your product listing package and create a new file which is with the same name, right, but all in lowercase as well as underscore between all the words. So this will this represents all the files, and definitely you have class names as your camel case, right? So we will create a stateless widget. We will copy the name so that we don't type in again and again. Yeah. Now inside this container we will have a specific height for it. Okay, now we will have a height. Definitely, why we need a height? Because as per the design it seems like it is 30% of the screen, it is taking 30% of the screen. So we will be having a screen height multiplied by 30%, right? Screen height into 0.3. And now you will be wondering, what is this screen height? So the screen height will be passed in from product listing page. So we have to create a screen height widget variable, which will have media query dot of context dot size and then height. So we have a screen height, and then we will be passing it as a parameter. One more thing we will be passing here will be a product, because we have to show a product in the UI, right? So we have this name, button text, and the image that I explained in the previous part. So we will be sending here a pixel product. You can go to this pixel and you can see the image is pixel.png, name is pixel3a, and this is the description. Learn more is the button text, and the background color is f5 f5 f5. Fine. So we need to also import it here. Okay, now we need, it says the error that we need to create the two variables here. So what we'll do, we'll create a final and double, or we can directly do, no, yeah, we can directly do this and product, right? And now it will show error here as well. So you can use IDE feature to create the constructor fields, which will automatically create this super constructor. Also means it will use the super constructor for the stateless widget as a key, as a parameter. So now we have a screen height definitely, and in the product listing page also we have a screen height. Let's close this. Now when you have height, also you can give a color to it. The color will be product dot background color. Come on, what is that? Okay, we have not defined a type of this. So what we will do is we will take it out from here and we will give it as final product. So now it knows the type of this product, right? And when the ID automatically imports, don't use the whole package Google Products app, use this reference for the implementation. And when you format the file, this line should come into the next line. Well, it will come in later stage. So go to background color. Now you have a background color for this, and let's see the output. If we can see a color, yes, so we can see a background color here, definitely different from what we have as the scaffold background color. Okay, so let's put in the contents. This is definitely a row which will have a division here. So for me, image is taking a little bit bigger portion than the text, so I will divide it into two parts, and I will make this as expandable with flex of 4, and this is expandable as flex of 5. The reason to doing this is that it will take 4 by 9 parts of the whole UI, and this will take 5 parts of the 9 whole UI. Okay, so we are in this, and we will create a child, then we will have a row. Okay, then first child will be expanded with flex equals to 4, and the second child will have expanded flex equals to 5, which I explained it just before this sentence, right? So the child will be a column again, right? Probably this should be a centered column, but yeah. So let's first of all add the children here, but before that let's add a child to this also. So we will be having an image dot asset, and it will be having product dot image path. Yep. After this let's add some children to it. So we will have to add these two things, right? And there is also a little bit sized box between. So let's add a text widget which will have product dot description, right? And the style for this will be definitely font size is 17, font weight will be highest. Okay, then you will have, yeah, that's it. After this you will have a sized box of height as 10, and then you can have this button. So we are going to create another widget which will be inside products listing page, because this button is only used in products listing page. That's why we have put it in products listing page package. Okay, so let's create this blue button. Okay, and then this blue button will have definitely it has a dynamic text which is coming from product model. So we will pass in product here as well and try to import it. Again, I will tell you the same thing, use this internal reference, and then it will ask to create a constructor. So we are creating the constructor. Now what we have is we use a flat button here because it doesn't have an elevation and we don't need it. So the child of this flat button will be text button, sorry, text will be product dot button text, and style we have to give it, right? So the style will be first of all the color of the button is white, then we have weight of the button, so it will be something around 600, and then we have font size 10. So after doing this it says some error, so it requires on pressed, which we don't need to handle now. So we are going to do it like this. Now if you give it null, the button will be disabled by default, so don't give it null, give it an empty method. Okay, after style we would also like to give color to the this flat button. So here we go, color, and color will be simple blue. So it will be ff, which is opacity attribute, then 0000 and ff. So this is blue color, as you can see here. We also have a shape for the button, so we will be having a rounded rectangular border which will have a border radius, so that it is circle, it has some border from all the parts, all the edges, so it will be 20. And now we have this blue button, and we want to format it. Yes, so it is formatted properly. Yeah, now it's formatted properly. Let's close this and use the blue button here, which is just now created, and pass in the product, which is just the product. Okay, let's minimize this so that you can see whole code. So this is how we have done the expanded 4 and 5 of this. Let's try to run it. Okay, so this is how it looks. Now we have two things here. We have to rotate this and push it a little bit bottom, and as well as we have to make it in the center, right? So come back to this column, and you need to give some axis alignments here. So your main axis alignment will be that it comes in the center. So let's see that. Yeah, so it has come in the center. And then cross access alignment also, it can be start, because we want this learn more button to start from the place where neat is starting, the text is starting. Now it has to come in center, but not exactly in center. So what we are going to do is we are going to add some padding to our container. Okay, and that padding will be only from left hand side. Constant as insets only left. It will be 32, and let's see the output now. So this is good, we have seen this. Now we have to shift this image. So come to this and minimize this expanded, come to this expanded 5. To make it we have to give it a position, or we have to first rotate it. So let's rotate this image. So I'm using transform dot rotate here. We have to give some angle to it, and the angle is in radians, not in the degrees. Okay, so you have to be careful about this. The angle which I have found here is -2. So let's see, this is the angle. If I make it, see, if I make it 1, it will be like this. So we don't want this much. If I make it -1, we don't want this. So it has to be in decimals somewhere. So this was my final value. Now we need to give some position to it, because see, it's little bit cut here. So you have to give position element to it, but position element does not work so easily. So we have to wrap it inside a stack, right? So since ID does not have anything to add a stack automatically, so I do it like this. I add a column first and replace it with stack. Now in this rotate, see, nothing will happen with the output. You can see output is same, but now the things will change when we wrap this transform.rotate with a position widget. Okay, now what will happen is you have to decide what is the top position and the bottom position. So if you decide bottom as 20, see the result, image is gone, because we have not defined top. So we define top as 0. See, it requires at least two variables. So my top is 0, by default right is 0, so that's why it is coming in the edges. So if I give right as 10, which we actually don't have to give, this moves little bit further, so we don't want this. Now bottom 20 I have given. If I give -20, this image will come little bit down. Okay, but if I give it -50, it will come more down. So what I want it little bit more down, so I will give a 50 top also. So now it comes at the perfect place, and this is how we have completed our right image product item widget. We have used it here. Okay, now next is very easy. We will just replicate how we have created right image product item widget and replace it, and do some minor changes into that. So let's create left item product item widget. Go to your project, create, or just duplicate this. Okay, and make it as left here. Okay, fine, we have everything here, but we have to replace this text with left. Let's do that also, so that we don't confuse ourselves. Okay, now once you are in this project, this left image product item widget, let's run it. Okay, it shows some error probably. Yeah, so we have to import it here. Okay, now let's see, we have two similar outputs, but as per our design, image has to be on the left hand side and text has to be on the right hand side. So we will do exactly that now. Let's close right. We have to change this flex 5, because image always has a little bit more portion of the screen. Just copy this column here, cut it, and comment this. Instead of this, you need column like this, and you don't need now rotation as well as stack as well as position. So just cut it here, the image part, and add it here. So if I am not wrong, yeah, now what is the issue? Okay, we have added extra parenthesis here. Okay, let's run it now, and it shows like this. Fine. So what is the issue here? We first of all have to pass in not the pixel but the Stadia product, and let's see the output now. It looks nice. Now there are some issues with this. First of all, we don't need to show the new release here. So instead of that, we have to show name, right? So it's Google Stadia. Why it is coming in 2 lines? Because in the product I have added it as \n, so it is coming in 2 lines. Never mind. After that, we need to have a new release text also below this, and then we are good to go. Fine. Okay. And is there any no spacing? I think, yeah. So everything looks good now, but okay, fine, that is good. What we have to do is, instead of text we need to give a description, and the font size will be 8. Okay, and color will change to, also the font weight will go off because we don't need that. Color will change to 0x. Sorry for the noise, guys. I don't know what is happening at the upstairs. 909090, and let's update it. So we have a new release here. Of course my emulator size is pretty low, so you can see here it's like this. All right, so we have product description as well as size box. The size box should have 5 now here because it's too much as per the UI. And yeah, we need some spacing here. So what we will do is, we will wrap this column inside a padding widget, and we will give only the left as 16. So let's run it, and now there is little bit of space, so this looks nice now. Fine. Should I increase the emulator size for whole of this video now? Yeah, so this looks good now. Okay, fine. Now we have to do also this container's height. It has to be 25% now because it's not that much in the UI. Now let's create this to product item bar. Okay, we are done with this. Now let's come to product item widget. To product item widget, right? And this should have a product 1, product 2, and a screen height, which is screen height. So let's create this first of all. So go to your project, go to products listing, create a new file which is called to products item widget, right? Fine. Create this material to products item widget, right? Now this is very simple in here because you need to just have a row here, but that has to be in the container, of course, with the same height as the screen height. Okay, we need that first of all. So let's create a final screen height as well as final product, right? This everywhere we are doing the same way, so it's not a new thing. Okay, now let's create a constructor. Fine. Now we have screen height coming from product listing page. In this row we have 2 children. First will be having expanded. It will definitely have 1, and this expanded also will have a 1 values. We want the UI to divide itself into 2 parts. Let's close this. As you see here, we have this divided into 2 parts, right? So let's minimize this. And the child, so for child we are going to have vertical okay, what's the name of that? It's vertical product item widget. Okay, fine. So sorry, it will have 2 products coming in from a constructor, right? So vertical product item widget will again deal with product 1 as its product parameter, and similar thing will happen to the second expanded, but it will have product 2 as the input. Now we have to and first of all string height into 0.25. now we have to create vertical product item widget. So go to your project and create a new file with the same name, vertical product, right? Import. Okay, widget. Then this is very easy because you have to have only a single column which will be center, and everything will fall in under place, everything, right, clearly. So product, and then here you don't need to have screen height because the parent already has that, and everything will fall, we will give height to the image basically. So on the constructor here, now let's define it. So so we will need screen height because we want to give height of image, so that's why we will also pass this dot screen height. And yeah, fine. So go to your two products item widget, give them a screen height of this, and copy it, paste it. It looks nice. Now let's import everything here. So we are done with this. Let's close it. Also let's import it to products. Yeah, so let's import this, and product one is our pixel stand. What it is showing, okay, it's common. And then the second one is daydream, right? It's fairly longer video, but what I imagined, but yeah, it's good to see all the widgets at one place in one video. And then in the container, first of all, we are going to give a color to it. Color will be nothing but product.background. Okay, and then we have to use a child wherein we will have a column. Okay, so we will have a image.asset here, right? Okay, and it will be product.imagePath. And height of this will be screen height into 0.15, which is 15% of the screen height, which looks to me like it is actual. So we'll have then size box of some height, which is 5 in this case. And then we will have product name and the description, so we will use text, and product dot name, we'll have a style here. Yep. So in this the style, we are going to have 800 as the weight, right? And then color will be, which I figured out, it was 0xFF3B3B43. okay, then font size for name will be 14, and let's copy this whole and duplicate it with a small change that we will be using a description here, right? And weight is same, color is same, only the font size will change. Okay, so we are done with vertical product item widget. It will take in a product, like it will take in pixel stand as the input and try to put the values inside it. Now this is used 2 times in my two product item widget, and it is dividing expanded and expanded, so it takes equal width, right? Now let's see the output. Okay, it looks like this, which is fine to me. And yeah, so I think it's done, I guess. It will be better to make it in a center widget, or does it do anything? No, so we don't need this. Yeah, so this is done. Now we need to work on red button. So go here in your product listing page and create a red button, sorry for the noise guys, and give it a text which will be just view all. And you need to go to your widgets package now, because this red button is being called from 2 files, so we need to move it to a common place, right? Import material and then stateless red button. Sorry for the noise guys again. So in the red button we will have a simply, first of all we will have a button text, I think there is some shifting going on at upstairs, so that's why the noise. Raise button, and then inside this we have to give some elevation to it, but if we don't give, it will take the default elevation, which is fine for us. The child will be a text which will have a style. Let's put in the text first, which will be button text, then a style. Color will be definitely white, and then okay, so color white, and then, or you can give it like this, text color, sorry, text color. So there are two things, two ways you can give the color. Okay, and the text will always be in the uppercase, so I'm making it to uppercase. Then you have a shape for the button, which is same as we gave in the blue button. So go to your blue button, copy the shape, and here the radius should be 30, not 20. Okay, fine. We have on pressed, we have, okay. Now let's give the color to the button itself, which is somewhere related to red, but it's not red. So DA, okay, DA1D21. This is the red color which I found out, and let's run it. Before that, let's import this. Sorry. So we have to give button text. Yeah. Let's run it, and now you can see the scrollable part coming into picture, and we have this view all button. But as per the design, this has some padding. So what we will do is, inside raise button we have this padding, so we will give padding of symmetric horizontal, because we want only at the left and right hand side. So value which I found out was 96, and this looks pretty much nice now. Okay, so this is the end of the video, guys, but in the next video we are going to create the details screen.